there's a worldliness around us today, around you, around me, that pulls us from what we're supposed to be living for and who we're supposed to be living for, pulls us from the settledness of the Christian life in the best sense. And so you got to ask yourself, are you settled on who you're going to be? Have you made up your mind about the way you're going to live, how you're going to think, what you're going to believe, who you're going to marry, who you're going to date, who you're going to be friends with, and what direction you're going to go in your life? Have you made up your mind about your onlys? I will only do this. I will only pursue this. It's good to have those. It's really good to have your onlys. It protects you in those moments where you encounter a situation that you haven't thought of just yet, but you've already thought about the kind of person you're going to be or the direction you're going to go. So the details regarding the scenario can change, but the way you're going to be never does. That's the idea of being steadfast. It's yes to Christ, knowing that that is a no to this world. It's yes to Christ, knowing that that has an implication, which is no compromise in this world. You're not going to fear man. You're settled. You're steadfast. You can get hit by everything under the sun and people coming against you for what you believe and the way that you order your home, the way you order your relationships, the way that you work, the way that you talk, the way that you dress, the way you prioritize your calendar and everything else in between. You are settled. I think back to some of the biggest mistakes of my life in your life stage, and every one of them is related to being loose-footed in my convictions. You know, they've done studies about this, by the way. You know, it's always worldly sociologists that are just figuring out that the Bible already said this stuff and we should probably just listen to God. But they did these studies years ago where they took a group of college students and they basically set up a series of scenarios, and the people who said they weren't going to drink or weren't going to, and there were a number of other things, before going out, and they did a series of these studies, would actually stick to it at a way higher percentage than people that said, you know, I don't know. And I remember back in college, I was living a big double life. I was the best hypocrite ever. And you know, before you'd go out at night, typical question would be, hey, what are you thinking? You going to drink tonight? What are you going to do? Are you going to drive? What's kind of the plan tonight? Everybody wanted to know. And the real question was, how rowdy are we getting tonight? That was basically what they were asking. You guys have friends like this. Hopefully this isn't you, but if it is, you just sit there silently and know that I know. And like clockwork, if you determined no, high percentage that you're going to stick to that because you've made up your mind ahead of time. But very, very high percentage of people would end up making really foolish decisions. And I should have been in the study. I would have actually helped their stats. This is completely true. It was true all the time for me. When you'd say, you know, I don't know. I'll decide when we get out. I'll decide when we're out there. Nearly every single time, I would react simply to the moment and in the moment based on however I felt. Well, you already know how you feel because once you're out and the mood is set and the hype is there and everybody's excited and it's like the weekend is upon us, well, the answer is always, yeah, why not? If you are going to be a Christian in today's world, you are going to have to set your mind ahead of time. No matter what, no matter who, no matter how great looking, how attractive the scenario is, what the benefits would be for me, it could be a gauntlet of scenarios. It does not matter. It could be a job that has the most lucrative benefits for you in life, but it is attached to something worldly, ungodly, and it will derail and distract your labor and your focus and your purpose for Christ. You've already set your mind and you are settled. It doesn't fit in the paradigm of your life.